the Talk the Walk podcast. My name is CHYNA Black, the icon. Yeah. And I am here today with the legendary Trey.
Good morning.
Icon.
Prince Icon.
Period. And real quick, I just want to start off by saying thank you to you.
Thank you to
you.
Girl, don't play with me because you know how I feel about you. You know how I feel.
But I want to say thank you to you because when I first said that I wanted to do the podcast, you were one of the people that I talked to, right? And I was
supposed to be your first guest.
Exactly.
But I wasn't.
Okay, look, starting to tee off early. But you were the first person who told me that I was definitely qualified to do this podcast and that I should go for it. Because I really was like, I want to do it, but you know, and you know how we make excuses and like try to talk ourselves out of things. But I really appreciate you being so confident in me when I am not confident in myself sometimes. So I appreciate you in the relationship that we have built inside of the scene and outside of the scene.
You're my girl.
I love you.
I love you too.
All right, so let's get right into it, okay? Sure. 3 words to describe Trey.
Ooh, observant.
Okay.
Crazy as shit. And just me.
Just you.
Just me.
That's crazy that you said that because I have a card for you and the end of the card says, thank you for being this, and just Trey.
Oh.
I swear to you, when you read the card, you're like, wow, that's so scary. So what makes you say crazy is shit?
My thought processes, the shit that I do, the poor decisions I make, the good decisions I make, just everything. Everything that makes up me is just fucking crazy. The fact that I'm even here is crazy.
Most artists, most artistic people, are sometimes considered crazy. You know what I mean? Like, but
and really smart too.
Exactly. Exactly. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Left.
See what I'm saying? I'm left-handed too. That's one of the key points to being artistic.
I draw and I paint. I'm a graphic designer. I can do sculpture.
Really?
I can develop my own pictures, like from black and white, like film photography. I do when you say artistic, I literally do all of that and have been doing that probably. I started on computers and stuff when I was like 2 years old.
Wow.
I went to UDC at 8 years old for computer engineering.
Get the fuck out of here.
I swear to God.
Seriously?
It was part of a computer engineering program. It was called the Patriots program. And we were soldering and creating motherboards and stuff at UDC. And coding and all of that.
Like, do you feel like you still are into the computers and the art and the drawing, or, you know, that's kind of like on the back burner?
I think you about to get me into my nerdiness, but I think certain aspects of technology I take and use in my everyday life. Shit like functionality, like how well does my fashion function? Like I kind of try to
mix them together.
Mix technology and the ideas that come with technology and make it work with fashion, my art, my everyday life.
What's growing up look like for you, like in hindsight, looking back on it?
Traumatic. But you know, something that people don't acknowledge is that through trauma, you can have some really, really, really good and fun and incredible times. So I had some fun times, but a lot of what I remember is trauma.
Okay. What kind of trauma do you remember?
Well, when I was, so I was molested when I was very, very, very young by a family member. And I think that like translated into a lot of hypersexual stuff when I got older.
Yeah.
Emotional abuse, some physical abuse, but more so emotional abuse.
Family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I had experienced a little bit of emotional abuse when it came to me and my mom growing up. But as a child, you really don't know how to identify that.
You don't.
Right?
You can't put a word to it
because you think that that is just normal because that's the only thing I know. You get what I'm saying? Like it's the only relationship that I've had with a mom or a father or a cousin or uncle. You don't know that these things are not necessarily right.
Yeah, and then there's also such a face to what abuse looks like. So when you see abuse, you're like, oh, that's not me because it doesn't look like that,
right?
Or you know what I'm saying? So you definitely don't know while you're young what type of effect it has on you.
So do you feel like the trauma that you experienced as a child has affected you here in your now story? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm certainly healing from it because we don't acknowledge what we went through as trauma. A lot of us don't acknowledge that.
Absolutely.
And then mental health has become such a subject within the recent years. It was not a subject back then. So I think, and I'll just speak for myself. I had a lot of digging of trauma and things that I was not acknowledging. I had to really dig that up and face it. And one of those ways I got through a lot of that was modeling.
Through tragedy comes triumph, right? And then a lot of people don't understand that what doesn't kill you make you stronger. I know that's a fucking song, bitch, but like it's the truth in that some people have it a little bit harder than others because they are called to something bigger than others, and you have to have the toughest skin and have been through some shit to be able to endure or carry certain loads that God has for you. And then as far as performance goes, right, when we get on stage, everything goes away.
Like it's like it fine tunes into one point, and then once you get on that stage, just and let it all go.
Yep, that's the beauty of the scene for me. So it's a statement that you said to me when we were talking about this podcast, and I would like you to say it so that I don't mess it up, and then I want to like kind of go into talking about it a little bit.
Okay. As much as the scene built me up, it also broke me down. For blood, sweat, and tears.
Trey, it stuck with me. Like when you said that,
and I said that a while ago.
It stuck with me because
it's true.
Being like legendary and iconic in the Marlon scene, you've been through some shit. Like if you've been in the scene for a while, like you've been through some things in the scene, and certain things might not even have anything to do with the scene, but you were in the scene while you were going through those things. So like tell me like what you mean when you say that and what that means to you.
The scene made me what I am today. The scene taught me a work ethic that I still have yet to see anywhere else. It definitely taught me so many things. It made me very, very strong, but it's unfortunate that that strength came from a lot of pain. And not all of it is from the scene, but when you experiencing trauma at home and then you come to a something like this and also experience trauma, right? Because as much as people like to pay it, that's what it is. It's trauma. It's unfortunate that that is what built me up so much. But I definitely respect it because I would not have the tough skin I had then people not laughed at me. I would have never had the tough skin I have had people not say I was dirty. I would have never brushed my fucking teeth. Okay. I'm glad somebody told me, boy, you stink.
Oh Lord! So the people were assisting while throwing daggers.
consistent while doing them.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. Like, listen, the scene tore me down and built me up, and tore me down and built me up and tore me down. I've experienced the same things. The chatter, you not pretty, why you modeling, you ain't shit, you ain't this, you ain't that, right?
I have to know where all of them people are at now, and some of them I do see where they're at now, and they're still getting high.
Well, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And I'm not knocking nobody that, do whatever they do, but
people can pull you down faster than you can bring them up, right? And in hindsight, right? So in hindsight, we could see those things, but when you're in it, when you are 16, 17, I think I was 18. How old were you?
I started at 15.
I think I started in the modeling scene at like 18 because I was doing high school stuff, right? So 18 years old, you are a child, right? And so you don't understand why these people are acting the way that they're acting towards you, but they see the talents. You get what I'm saying? They see the gifts, and it all built me.
Yeah.
It all built me. I thought that. I used to say, like, I don't understand why this is happening to me. Like, why won't they just leave me alone?
God had a bigger purpose for you than you knew at the time.
But same with you. Like, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, I don't know, it's just like the gift of being able to share. You get what I'm saying? Like, the gift of being there. I'm sure a handful or a bunch of people that are in the scene right now who may be feeling the same way, right? And to be able to like unpack some things that look, hey, I've been through some things in the scene and I'm legendary. You get what I'm saying? You didn't become legendary because of the things that the people said that you've been, because your receipts don't lie. You get what I'm saying?
If you've been chopped for 10 years, then you're legendary for being chopped for 10 full years.
There are few.
Okay. If you're legendary for being late boots every time you come out, then you're legendary for being late boots every time you come out.
I'm crying.
You can either be legend for something good or legend for something bad.
Hello. What age did you start modeling?
2005. Whatever you.
So you was 14.
14. 14.
Where?
In a backyard.
In a backyard
fashion show. That was my first fashion show. Their family was having a fashion show. First of all, I have always enjoyed runway.
Okay.
I have been a queen ever since.
Bitch, that's one of the questions. When did you realize you was one of the girls?
Butch queen. I remember one time, I'll never forget this day, I had this jump rope and I used it as a scarf. And I was walking around talking about, I'm a flaming faggot.
You did not say that.
I don't know who said that to me. And I'm gagging they said that to me as a little boy. But I just knew. So I used to watch like Yasmin and Naomi Campbell and all of them on like, I think it was TLC channel. You remember back when it was an A and a B on the cable box?
Yes.
The black cable box, A and B. It was the channel TLC, and they used to have all the runway and all the fashion stuff. And I just used to be in there just doing my little runway walk. And then it just, I guess it was always in me because when that fashion show came up, I did it. And then after that, another one of my cousins, Chavez, shout out to Chavez, she definitely helped me, taught me how to dress. She taught me how to put stuff together.
Exactly.
Because I used to give, check it, layer, button down.
Come on,
with
check
a t-shirt,
it.
Thigh-high socks with the Vans and the shorts. Oh, you couldn't tell me nothing.
The collar shirts used to be a fucking thing. Bitch, if you didn't have on a collar shirt,
and
bitch, pops.
With a t-shirt over top of it. The zippers on the sides of the pants.
We used to have to cut them.
And it used to be like, you either did the slits right here or you did it up here.
I'm crying. Yes.
After the backyard fashion show, my cousin Chavez, she was like, I model with Elegant Travail. And Elegant Travail used to, you know, Elegant Travail? That was my start at the 5th District Police Station over there on Bladensburg.
Elegant Travail was the lady with the short haircut, brown skin, short lady. Her husband was a designer.
So you know, I always say Elegant Travail, and people be like, "Girl,
that was the first competition that Modelville did. Was Elegant Travail's competition. I think it was at Suitland.
This is history, you all. Just to let you know,
Elegant
I'm not crazy. Elegant Travail is where I started.
Wow.
I also was already into the looking at ballroom clips because YouTube had just came out at like around that 05, 06. It started being popular. So I was already into the voguing and the stuff like that. But I had no clue that there was a thing specifically for modeling, specifically for runway. And so that's how I got introduced to so Chavez was like, you don't know about none of this stuff. You don't know about none of these troops. I looked up. Modelville was one of the first people I looked up. There were a lot of factors that played in me modeling. My other cousin Milan, which is on my mom's side, she was like, "I'm gonna take you to this show."
What show?
And
what show
like,
was
girl,
it?
What are you talking about?
What
show?
I'm
take you to the show. So she was like, "It's a fashion show." So I end up in the car, and we end up in front of Suitland's Auditorium.
Come on, the iconic Annabelle.
And I did not know at the time. I was at the first I Heard You Want to Walk Like Me.
Woo!
And I saw Queen Bee Tiff kicking her butt with her shoes.
Models Inc.
With her heels. I said, oh, I got to.
With that hand out like this. Yep. Yep.
I had to get me some of that. I said, yeah, I got to do that. I've been a historian for this scene since I was like 14, 15, like for real. Started getting on YouTube. I searched Models Inc. and that was a wrap. I found Modelville. I found everybody. I was like, Modelville is where that's where my heart is residing. Modelville. I also went to Largo High School.
Okay.
And Largo was like the fashion school of PG County. You had to know how to dress. You had to know how to dress. Their fashion shows were off the chain. Their modeling team was off the chain. I don't know if you are familiar with Ozzy Artez, aka Ronell.
Yes, with the dreads. Well, he used to have dreads. I don't know if he still does. Yes,
that was like
he was in Ink.
He was like the first urban model that I really like. Was around or interacted with, and I was scared of him.
Really?
Because I was so little, and he was very tall.
He was tall,
and he was very like outgoing. For some reason, I would always perceive outgoing people as like scary as fuck because they're just bold. And so every time he would see me, he would just be like, "What's wrong with you? Like, why are you always looking at me like this?" Yeah, but I think I didn't realize I was just infatuated with what he was about.
What was the first modeling troupe, other than the Elegant Travail situation, that you joined?
Models of Nari.
Models of Nari. I've never heard of Models of Nari.
A lot of the legends came from Models.
Give them to me. Models of Nari lineup.
DeAndre, aka Hoodlum, started out in Models of Nari.
Okay.
Fresh Prince, aka Style Channel. He was in Models of Nari.
Okay.
You don't know Kilo, do you? Kilo that does locks.
Yes.
He was in Models of Nari. Who else? I remember Dementio was supposed to start coming and teaching us, like, train us for runway in Models of Nari.
Why is the name starting to sound familiar the more you keep saying it?
Models of Nari?
Yeah.
I mean, they did one show. I left before they did that show, but I was definitely an integral part in them being developed.
Okay. So when did you, or why did you leave Models of Nari to go to Icon?
I was not leaving Nari to go anywhere. I was leaving Nari to pay all of this shit.
Oh, you were done with the modeling.
I was done with the queens. I was just done with the mess. I was done. I don't like all that.
Yeah.
I don't come from a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah.
So I wasn't willing to sit around and do a whole bunch of dumb shit with a whole bunch of queens.
Yeah. It was a lot going on back then.
And then, mind you, everybody was kids running an organization.
Yeah.
It was bound to just be messy.
Yeah.
But so I took a while off from Nairi and ended up J. Lou, my cousin J. Lou, shout out to J. Lou. She was like, I want you to come model for Icon. And by this time, I'm just thinking, like I said, I just knew I was going to be a modelville. I don't know how I was going to do it. I was not confident enough to get out there and say, hey, I want to be a modelville, but I just knew I was going to be a modelville. I used to be in front of that computer, step, twisting, and saying, I can do that too.
Trey, you should have fucking came and auditioned.
To this day, my name is Nightcrawler LLE.
Period.
And I'm an honorary, I'm an honorary Living Legends member, even though it ain't no more Living Legends. But and I love my Icon family down. Everybody knows how much I love.
You are one of the founding members of Icon.
I am.
Yeah.
Am I?
You are. I was just looking at the clips from the first Icon fashion show, and I'm like, I remember that day. You know what I mean? Like,
bitch, you was right there.
The start of.
You had this bob, and
bitch,
you had
shing
these
shong
sunglasses and these blue waist high leggings. I remember. Why do I remember? Because I had already lived for you, and then you was like, before I went out, we had done our first scene. Before I went out, you was like, "What's your name?" I said, "Trey." You was like, "Oh, okay." So I ain't think nothing of it. I go walk, and you was like, "Go on, Trey." I was like, "Girl."
Oh my god, that sounds just like some shit I would do. You are a founding member of Icon. So one of the things that I want to know about your relationship with Icon is like, what is the reason that you think Icon has been playing that underdog role for so many years?
Well, first of all, it was very hard to kind of start a new organization once Exquisite, Envied, and Ink had really like been established.
Yeah.
Troops wasn't lasting but for a half a year.
Yeah.
So we already had guns at us when we came in the door. And then it was like we weren't necessarily on the level of everybody else because we had just started out.
Right.
Not saying we were bad.
Right.
Nafisa and Danita carried us for a very long time. Well, not for a very long time, but they did carry us for a while.
I would say you were definitely one of the people that carried the team as well. You, Nafisa, and Danita, and then Headliner came in and
shout out to Gio, aka James.
Okay.
James came in and definitely made his mark as far as choreography. Armani Cooper, aka his name was Champion Icon. He came in as a choreographer. I'm all over the place, but Polka came in later on. We gonna get to all them.
Icon had some very good standout members. You know what I'm saying?
But nobody really respected us.
And that's the thing that just is so odd to me is that the team never was bad.
No.
It was just the team to me always seemed just like played it back.
Yeah.
Almost like afraid to take over the front, right?
Yeah.
So I always wondered like what, but you never know. Like it's like this thing like I just can't put my finger on what is it that made Icon just more like a silent team, because you have all these louder
raw groups.
Yeah, and
they used to fight.
Terrell has always been very conservative in that way, right? And so I think the team followed its leader, right? So it's not going to be, you're going to see us at the event and we're going to perform and then we're going to leave. It's not going to be a whole bunch of, you know what I mean? Like, and so I think that at that time, that's how you got really established, just like being at things, talking to the people, and Icon, I feel like just never was that type of girl. Like, she wasn't the girl. Icon was not the girl that's going to be giving you a whole bunch of fever.
If Terrell saw something dumb happening, let's go.
Yeah.
He wasn't having us sitting there. He wouldn't sit there and deal with no dumb shit. So why would he have us the team sit here and dealing with dumb shit?
And I think that kind of, in gift and a curse situation, that kind of stunted the ability for us to know you people, right? Because if you're not out, then we don't know you, and if we don't know you, then when you're on stage, we're not
connect with
exactly, right? So I think that was probably one of the things that played a role, but there were people who were undeniably known, and that's where like you come in, right?
Okay.
Because regardless, bitch, if nobody is talking to anybody from Icon, bitch, you see me spinning it, just twirling these girls. You were able to shine through the silence of Icon. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though the team may have not been making a lot of noise, there were people like you and like Nafisa that still to this day, that no matter what's going on with Icon, you stand alone, right?
Sure.
Just like there's people in Models Inc., there's people in Models Envy, like Jessica, August, no matter if they're not in Models Envy or not, they have their own name, right? And you came out very early, making it very apparent that you were going to have your own name, right? Your spotlight was definitely shining from the very beginning. And the spinning and stuff too, it's like only few people come into the scene already spinning.
But cleanly. Like I said, I was on YouTube looking at all that shit. So I'm telling you, even to this day, I practice spinning every day. I could get up here and tear this floor down.
Because it's passion.
And it's passion.
It's passion.
So I came in spinning, but I had already been working on it, like already. Yeah. And people often ask me, how do I get to spin like that? Or how did you get so well? It didn't happen overnight. It takes years to even perfect spotting right. Okay? Let alone spinning in a straight line.
Spotting is a thing. People.
Don't go spinning and your head is doing like this while you're
spotting is so key. If you notice, the best technique runway people are like proficient at spotting, right? Because that is how you even know.
Now,
exactly.
That part I live for. You
exactly.
Spotting the count, I'll cry and scream at the same time.
Smack your ass. Look at you doing it right. No, but thank you for saying something about it taking time to perfect the craft of spinning, right? A lot of people see stuff on Instagram that are not in the scene. It's like, how are you doing that? Like, how are you spinning like that? It's like, well, it definitely took a lot of practice. You learned via the computer, which is even more crazy. I learned from Crystal Earl. From
Earl.
She was the first person who like really kind of taught me how to spin and stuff. Okay. But to like learn how to do that from watching other people on the computer is something that is just, I mean, that's out of this world.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I just knew that I wanted to do it, and I just would look at y'all feet. So even to this day, I love to get a full body recording of somebody's technique because I like to look at your feet. Your body can be doing like this, but them feet could be doing something else.
Listen.
But I would always look at their feet and be like, okay, you come in, and then you go back, and then you go over there, and I was like, all right. And then I would just go and do it. First of all, I battled Antoine Tate. I battled Jermaine. I battled Dante.
Come on, Dante.
That was my first ball.
Wow.
I beat 3 of them. I did not beat Calvin.
Wow.
But That's how I got my.
That's
name.
starting off legendary already. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. I was just, they was like, go out there. I said, okay, I'll go out there.
Some of the things that I felt like you were legendary in as well was when Antics was created, you were one of the people who knew how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Effortlessly, because you had that personality in you, right? So every time you came out for Antics, bitch, I knew I was about to get a show.
So I've won no Antics category.
Get the fuck out.
I always get down to my last battle and lose.
By who? Give me one person.
Of all the balls I walked on,
give me one person who beat you and you felt like, bitch, get the fuck out of here.
I don't feel like that about.
You feel like everybody should deserve to.
Bitch, I just need to do some more then.
Oh, well, that is so nice of you.
Yeah.
Because any bitch that has ever beat me is a fucking problem.
I don't give a fuck enough about. Excuse me. Let me be correct here. I definitely care about what we do, but as far as looking to see who I can compete with or who's better than me, I don't really care because I do my own thing. I stay in my own little lane. I like competing, but it's just for fun.
I applaud you for like being able to say, oh, okay, I lost this one. Cool, I'll come back out next time. Bitch, run the tape back because y'all got me fucked up. Antics to me, when I think of Antics, I think of Antics, you. Actually.
You exactly.
I feel like Antics
Clearly.
Antics was like originated from like me and Calvin, but then it was adopted into an actual category, right? And so when it became adopted into a category,
we created the look of Antics, to be honest.
And that's one of the things I feel like makes you legendary too, because that was one of the things that to me, being a legend is about remembering somebody for something. Like, I know that this person will eat everybody in this, and it's almost like a staple thing to you, right? And even when you come out now, you do stuff that's antic-y because that's just who you are. You get what I'm saying? It feels authentic on you. You get what I'm saying? It feels like that is it's created for you, right? So every time I see you, I know that I'm going to get some type of antic and it's going to eat the girls up. Recently, you just did, well, it wasn't that recent, but it was when y'all had the black and white striped stuff on. It was like a Beetlejuicy look.
That was Antics versus Technique.
See? And I wasn't at that function, but I saw the videos and I actually used one of your clips for my opening for this thing. And you're like spinning for points, and the antics on that day, it was just like giving, bitch, you girls.
Can I tell you something about?
Please.
Anytime I've ever had like epic moments, there has been some type of horrible fucking thing that has happened directly before that. So when they're like, it's a ball, I'm steaming, like I'm ready to get out there and just like whatever. My ex had just spray painted on the side of my mother's house, and then he had like poured something in the tank of my car and like totally
talked about that.
Flooded my engine. He called my job and said some horrible things to my job about me and had me under this some real stupid mess. And that ball came up.
But you was ready.
I was ready, and I didn't win that one either. I lost against Misha, but that's fine. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. They call it a legend slayer now.
Yeah.
But you gotta slay multiple legends to be a legend slayer.
To be a legend slayer.
Just one. And I'm gonna get my lick back, Misha.
Misha, you heard it right here at the Talk the Walk.
I'm playing, but I'm serious.
And also on the whole thing with technique in females battling males in technique, I always think that that's kind of like weird.
Why? Because we've been doing. That's how we grew
I've always thought that was weird. Because if you put me in a flat, bitch, I'm gonna go off. Bitch, I'm in this bar. I'm already. Bitch, this is not fair. I'm already in these motherfucking platforms, bitch. If I put my sandal on, bitch, I will twirl this place.
It makes it harder for boys to beat the girls, though.
Yeah, and vice versa too.
So
because
that means if you beat a girl in her pumps, then you must really be eating it.
So I feel like it's on both, because I'm going to probably choose the female because she's spinning in heels and you're spinning in flats, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's just not. But I've always felt that way, you know.
I understand. I think that it helps with reasons why people are legend, because, bitch, I battled these niggas.
Yeah.
And the dudes to be like, I battled these girls. They got heels on, and I still, whatever I did, whether it had been the shade, whether it had been the antics, something won them judges over.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I kind of agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, it just builds to that legacy of what people have to look back on.
Right. True.
So, but I respect what you're saying.
Do you feel like there was somebody who you were always rivaled against in any capacity in the scene?
No, because I didn't really fit next to most people, just because I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody, but I just really did not fit next to most people. But I used to always battle Little Tony.
Okay.
All the time.
From Envy.
Even still, last time I battled Little Tony was from Envy. A ball in 2021. That was the last time I battled Little Tony. But I have been battling Little Tony for a while. But I don't think I wouldn't necessarily call us rivals. Plus, I love everybody. Like I don't.
I mean, you can love the people. You can love the people and still have a battle royale. Like me and Zeta are very good friends, actually. But every time we was in a place, it was giving you and you, bitch, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And we never had a problem with each other. It was just, bitch, you know, when we come here, we about to battle, so let's just go ahead and get it done.
You know who I have battled a couple times? I battled Jared a couple times.
Okay.
I battled Jared. It was a long time ago at what is that place called down Anacostia? Berry Farms Restaurant.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And there was a little performance there. I battled him there, and then Calvin had a ball. I battled him in Devo at that ball, and then I battled him in Technique in Baltimore.
Okay, so you've been.
I don't know whether you would call that rival, but no, there are certain people I just battle. Yeah, you always get paired with Danny from Envy. Danny, the female. Been battling her since 2011. I have been out here battling these people, child.
You always come out. You always come out, especially supporting your team. Like, I feel like if you were not who you are to the scene, Icon would have less knowledgeable moments. You know what I'm saying? Because you keep the team relevant. But yes and no, I get what you're saying. I know where you're trying to stay. So let me say it. Okay. You keep the team afloat sometimes by just coming out and showing up and actually putting your body on the floor, right? And so it's the rare occurrence when we see other people from Icon put their body on the floor in our stars. You get what I'm saying? So when they feast comes out, I was like, oh yes, because we've been wanting that from Icon or whatever. And you have always made sure that the team stayed in the limelight, in the conversation. Exactly. Who are some of your biggest influences in the scene? Maybe like top 5.
The Lord, Jehovah Jireh,
my provider,
Jehovah Shalom. Nah, but my influences for like technique and runway or stuff like that didn't really come from anybody. Models Envy inspired me through their fashion and just through their presentation. Okay. Living Legends inspired me through their counts and technique. Like, okay, Living Legends inspired me. You inspired me. Motherfucking Calvin definitely was an inspiration because I was able to work alongside him versus him being somebody that
Right.
is up here and me
Right,
down
right,
here.
right.
Stefan with his shady ass.
That's my mother.
He definitely schooled us on how to throw shade.
The pioneering icon for sure.
And Darren from Icon and Terrell.
Okay.
Terrell pushed me a lot. He didn't necessarily teach me what to do. He just pushed whatever I had and just pushed it to like extremes. That nigga was never easy on me.
Yeah.
Ever.
Or I think that's the best leadership. The people that push you to be better than you even thought that you even had.
Terrell would push you by paying you dust. I mean, you could do the counts harder than Beyonce and Calvin and Michael Jackson mixed, and he would sit there and look at you and be like, "Do it again."
I'm crying.
Can you do it again? You know. So at first, I used to be like, "Well, why? Am I ever going to get my damn grace?" But in my older age, I understand that he never wanted me to get comfortable with any place I was at, because I know a lot of people. Do you give them grace and you give them all of this stuff, and then their nose is like this, and they can't do nothing after like you know. They get complacent. They never grow. Their walk still looks the same that it did when somebody first told them it looked good. It just looks like it did 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Go off!
So I've had inspiration, but it not necessarily inspiring the talent, but inspiring my drive, inspiring my ethic,
right? Your work ethic.
Do you think it can be used for a place of healing, or do you think that you don't want to deal with that shit while you in the modeling thing?
Far as like healing from things in your personal life, or like
do you think it's a place of where you can grow as a person, where you can build relationships and bonds and based off of things outside of the scene, or do you think that this should just be a place where you just come, walk, and go the fuck home?
I think the scene has always had very high potential for community.
Okay.
Right? Like it could it could be community. It could be loving. It could be growth and depth in our scene. It's about what we choose to do, right? Do we choose to have events where we have roundtable talk and we discuss, and do we choose to have brunches and lunches and get to know each other? Do we choose to talk about trauma, addiction, things that are happening in our scene that we don't acknowledge, right?
Because it's happening still.
And it was happening when we were in the scene, and it's still happening to this day. And so there are things where I feel like people have their own personal talks with people that you don't even know, right? And talk about those deeper things. But like as a community, I feel like we could do better with being there for each other in different aspects, because
respect.
Back then, I feel like it was not like that, right? People were going through stuff right under your nose, right? Me being one of those people, right?
Would come from home to the bar after getting your ass whooped.
Yeah,
like shit like that.
It's a lot of people that are going through those things right now. There are people who are struggling with alcoholism, drug addiction, abuse, mentally, physically, in their personal lives, and then they come to practice, they wipe their face and pump. But the scene to me definitely was a place where I could escape things that were going on that I did not want to face. And that could be a gift or a curse, because if you're running from something or you're running from yourself, this is a perfect place to do so. You get what I'm saying? This is a perfect place to get lost.
You wanna be addicted to something, this is the perfect place for it.
Yep.
You don't even have to come in. You don't even have to find addiction in this scene. You can already suffer from addiction, come to this scene, and then it just goes to heights you couldn't even imagine.
These are the things that people don't want to, the dark side of the scene, right? The dark side is that people struggle heavy with stuff in the scene and nobody talks about it, but they talk about it when you're not looking. You know, they don't know what it's like. They have never experienced it or they experiencing it, but they want to keep the focus on what you're doing so that we don't have to see what's going on with them, right?
The fact that you drunk boots. The fact that you are doing like this with your jaw uncontrollably.
Trey!
What's going on?
Oh my God. Me and Desmond, shout out to the icon Desmond. We have discussed having several times for a couple years now, having a table talk kind of situation about addiction in the scene. However, it has not been done yet. Now, there's always room for growth. There's always room for elevation. But like I said, some things people are not ready to tap yet, right? You know, and we right now, this is the first time I think that we even scratching the surface.
That's the blessing of different perspectives. You don't have to wait for somebody's perspective. Now, in the day and age we're in, you can have somebody who's willing to speak on that perspective, and that will get the conversations started. And like I said, when you don't have to gain your addiction from this scene, because I didn't get my addiction from modeling. It came from outside of modeling. But coming back into it, liquor was just always there.
It's always there.
Damn, it's always there. It's still there.
I don't know if it's as prominent now as it was back then, but you remember when we used to have Fashion Fridays?
Oh, and I used to have my 40 ounces.
And I used to have my Four Locos with BYOL.
Oh, my
God. The people were getting full.
When I say we used to get full together, we used to get...
That was the community. That was the community. The community was...
To get full and
Bitch, make sure you drink it all the way down, bitch, because you might get bashed in the back of your head and you might not feel it if you're drunk enough.
Speaking on your addiction helped me overcome my addiction. I am 9 months into no alcohol, and
bitch,
I am about 3 years sober. I'm gonna put it this way, of a lot of other shit.
That's amazing. You're gonna make me cry, child.
Oh,
for real, because you know how I feel about like overcoming.
It's hard. It's not for the weak.
And pulling yourself up from your bootstraps and saying like, I don't want to do this no more. Especially being the talented people that we are. You know what I mean? Like you get so used to believing that you need these things to produce product, right? And the reality is that you are the product. What does legendary mean to you?
It doesn't mean a motherfucking thing to me. Like, if I'm not Beyonce, if I'm not legend means to me having an impact on more than just your own community.
Right.
Legendary is having an impact on everything around you. Legends, in my opinion, don't know they're legends. Beyonce didn't know she was a legend. She was saying that she wanted to be legend, and she didn't realize she was already a fucking legend. You know what I'm saying? That's what the legendary status means to me. You know, people call me legendary, and I do understand and respect what the scene has given to me and over the years, and what I have done in the scene. But I think I want the lens to turn more to what can I help grow.
Okay.
You know, I think once I accomplish that, I might feel a little bit legendary. I feel like a superstar the way everybody is supporting D-Footage Media.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
There is something about the footage that has the people buzzing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to my best friend, shout out to Mark, LLE.
Best dress. He taught me about a lot of designers and stuff back in the day. KTZ, one being one of the big.
Period. So he was saying, the footage has really got the people in the chokehold right now. He already got 6,000 followers, and it's only been a few months. The footage page is shedding light on the homage that has not been given, right? The past is prevalent still with the footage.
Ooh.
As well as showcasing the present, right? Mm-hmm. Because both matter. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask you, what made you start the footage?
Sobriety.
What?
When you get sober, there's all of this energy. Like, what can I do with this? Where can I put this? And I couldn't recognize where to put it. But then one day, I don't know, I was on my YouTube and I saw a ball from 11 years ago, and I was thinking, I was like, I know I got more footage than this in my phone. And then I just looked at my phone. I was like, yeah, I got some footage. So I tabled it for a while, and then I went to the College Hills Ball in Richmond. Shout out to UC, VSU, and Urban Couture and Brandon and all them. I was like, I want to start back recording all of the events and making sure that the people can see themselves. And I started doing that just on my own personal page. And then I was like, okay, this is working. The people are interested in seeing themselves. And then I said, okay, well, let me make this a thing. I was thinking about a name, and then I was like, well, this is some serious footage. And then I said, the footage. I said, no, not the footage. The footage, because it literally everything I have been posting has been the footage. And then once I made that brand for myself, I made it in November. I made the Instagram for it and everything, and I just didn't touch it until January. January I started posting my first couple videos. I started out with like 56 followers. That next week, my first video was going viral, and I'm like, like, okay, I paid it because I'm like, okay, this is gonna be this video, and I didn't realize the impact that just this video was going to have, and because I wasn't tripping off that, I just kept going. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep posting and posting and posting and posting, and then a couple of them would go viral. And then I was like, there needs to be something more to this, because people are acting like they don't know what the fuck went on back in the day. People are acting like they don't want that narrative to be
televised,
truthful, and honest nowadays. But the footage never lies. The clips never lie. People can say anything they want to about what went on back in the day, but I have what went on.
You have the
I got all the shit. I got all the shit. I got shit you want to see, and I got shit you don't want to see. Play with me if you want to, and I might post the shit you don't want to see.
The footage is I'm playing. Footage is got the tea.
I'm not that buck, but I do have all of the teas of the tea.
It's crazy.
And I came up with a goal of marrying the past and the present so that we can always have a future. And everything.
Say that one more time, please.
I wanted to marry the past with the present so that we can always have a future. I want everybody to be able to see themselves, because growing up, it's clips that I can't even fucking find because, people want to keep clips and stuff like that. Nah, everybody needs to see themselves so they can know what they like about themselves, what they can improve, and so that they can also be a part of this history as well.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing right now is making history.
And the modeling scene is really starting to take off.
Mm-hmm.
The social media aspect of the modeling scene is really starting to push, and I don't think people realize that. Y'all hold on tight. The new generation of the scene, y'all are about to get some real good snacks right now, because social media is allowing hundreds of thousands of people to see what we have built, right? And it's becoming worldwide. People are modeling and spinning and stuff in states that they don't even know where it originated from, right?
People from, I get messages from people from France. I get messages from people from Brazil. Some of my most popular country that watches is India on YouTube. So the reach is reaching. The celebrities are watching. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do what we do in New York Fashion Week next year.
I believe it.
But they can't. The thing is that I don't think they'll ever be able to keep up, because we have too much. We've been doing this for damn near 20 years.
Yeah.
We have too much for them to be able to say, "Oh, we can do that too." Y'all.
It's a skill. It's a skill,
and it takes years to perfect that skill.
It's definitely a skill, and I think that's why I love the footage so much, is because it allows people to see what got you to be on the stage that you're on, because somebody had to make it up. Somebody had to perfect it. Somebody had to learn it, right? In order for you to see it, and then for you to take it, and for you to build on it, right? So the history is very important. And having footage allows me to be proud of myself. You get what I'm saying? To be able to look back 12 years later and see the things that I did when I was in my 20s and say, damn, bitch, you really did that. You know what I mean?
CHYNA, you really did a lot of things.
Thank you.
In your teens and your 20s. And the numbers, YouTube back then, it wasn't the whole algorithm. It definitely
wasn't giving what it's giving now.
Word of mouth. And we were doing numbers on YouTube
we was doing numbers.
Back then. Just by word of mouth.
Yeah.
So.
But you giving these kids the opportunity to have their footage. Like you said that. You said, I want to go to every show. And I want the kids to be able to have footage so they can look back like how you got to look back and see your stuff and say, damn, I did that, right? And I appreciate that, because a lot of people are doing things because they want something from it. And I think that you're doing this because you want to give. Like, it's a service. You're being a service to the scene, and that's legendary to me. This is, if you didn't feel like it was giving legendary, the breakthrough of the footage has been legendary.
I appreciate it.
And it still has so much more. I mean, there are people who are like, bitch, did you see that shit? Did they post on the footage? Bitch, he got Catwalk Classics, bitch.
See, baby.
2008, bitch, how? Where did you find? I mean, and then like, it was said too, like, Trey got a fucking press pass, bitch. He's at every event, bitch. Front row.
No, I don't. I'll be paying for them motherfuckers.
You need a press pass.
The only two people that have ever given me a press pass were Kush for the showcase that they did, Love Chronicles. And that's it.
Shout out to Kush for the press pass for the footage.
And another show that's coming up, they're allowing me a press pass.
So if you did not know that Legendary Trey is the footage, now you do, and the press passes are needed. Because if you want the footage, then he needs to be there with a press pass. I believe that it is a service, and that if I'm doing a service for you, you need to be doing a service for me by giving me a ticket so that I can come and complete the service, right? So, yeah, I mean,
thank you for putting that plug out there.
Absolutely, because I think that it is important for you to be celebrated in doing something that is helping others, right? I think that you pulling together the footage media is excellent. Yeah. Like me doing this was me saying I still want to be of service to my community. Like I'm not done. I might not want to be on the floor, but I still want to be a part of my scene. There are seasoned ways to show up though, right? And showing up for the new generation is doing things like the footage, allowing the girls to come and sit down and share their stories on the podcast. Like, these are things that are legendary and iconic behaviors. So
it's good to see you in this space. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just really good to see you in this space, to see that you have the confidence enough to like do it.
Bitch, it's good to be in this space, bitch. When you said sobriety,
you get to show up for yourself when you sober.
Lets you see the world in a different type of lens, baby. I can do anything. I can do anything. Bitch, you want to be an astronaut? Bitch, how can I be an astronaut, bitch?
You want to be an acorn?
Bitch, how can I be an acorn, bitch? There was a squirrel outside earlier that was looking at me. Bitch, I want to be a squirrel, bitch. I can do anything through sobriety that strengthens me. Okay, bitch, if you ever feel like you can't do it, stop drinking.
Just stop. I'm telling you, to have a brand developed from your sobriety is a hella fine thing.
To have a brand developed from your sobriety that's flourishing. You put the footage out and it instantly has...
in a week. And shout out to Bobby, shout out to the new guy Van, and shout out to King Saga for their video going viral. They're at
the Matrix look. Yes. Shout out to
HBCU Buzz has reposted their video.
I saw it. I mean, that's viral twice.
I want everybody to be able to get out there. It's not about me. If I end up getting coins off of doing this, wonderful. But my main goal is for these kids to have something to show for what they have been doing, you know, what modeling they have done. I want them to get on TV. I want them to be able to do that QVC shit where, you know, you just standing there with the clothes on, you know. I just want the best for all of us, and I feel like I can be able to do that through the footage.
And when you're doing something for someone else and not for yourself, and not for the clout and not for the fame and not for the, it somehow materializes to be all of those things. You get what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't even doing it for that. If I just stopped trying to worry about getting something from doing something, and I just do it because I'm passionate about it. When we were doing modeling shit, I did it because I loved it. I didn't do it for the money. You get what I'm saying? And it is I have left a standing impact just from doing what I love to do. No strings attached. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the footage is going to do so well. I'm putting that in the air. It's already doing it, but I'm manifesting better. I'm manifesting more for you. I love you to death. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you have done.
Thank you for talking about the Walk podcast so that I could plug my shit on the show.
Period. So we are now down to our last 30 seconds of the interview, and I like to play Fast Money. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Soft and Cunt or Banji?
Ooh. Banji Cunt.
Danny, Envy, or Jubilee?
Danny.
Bang or Mother? Vanity or Allure?
Both of them.
Vanity or Allure?
Vanity.
Orlando or Brent?
Brittany.
Stormy or Juliet?
Oh, Stormy. Stormy does something to my life.
Same. Show or competition?
Competition.
Superstar or legend?
Neither. Money. Rich. Coin. That's what I want.
Progressive and
paid.
Period. Thank you so much, Trey. The legendary icon.
You're welcome.
Trey.